that the left side is called the debit side and the right side is called the credit side. First rule. Okay, we need more rules here for this cheat sheet. Here's your second rule. And I'm going to have to stand up for this. What I want you to think about in your head is, let's just say it's after class now and you're going to go to Chipotle or something. When you pick up your stuff to go, like your keys, your wallet, and your phone, I always get those three things. And I bet you're kind of the same. Keys, wallet, phone, or keys, purse, phone. Maybe your phone and your wallet are kind of the same thing, but whatever. When you get those things, I want you to think about this. Where do you put them in your pocket? Like, what's the natural movement? And if we were in class, outside here. If we were in class, I would have people come up to the front and I'd just say, okay, don't think about anything. Just put your wallet in your pocket. So I'm going to stand up for this. I have my wallet here on purpose. Look at my wallet too, by the way. I don't know if you can see me. I'll just hold it up here to this camera. There we go. This wallet right here is about 37 years old. Look at how just messy. It's falling apart. Every Christmas, Mrs. Buell gets me a new wallet. And every Christmas we take that wallet back because I say this baby is fine. Like it's a comfort level thing for me, but never get it to the point where it looks like that. That is just, it's too much stuff. It like gives me back pains because I put it in one pocket. I'm all off balance. But here's the point. You got to stand up for this. What they want to know in T accounts is this. Where do you normally, that's a key word, where do you normally put your wallet or your purse when you put it in your pocket? And what I'm asking is, what side do you put it on? So just, again, in your head, think, okay, when I go somewhere, where do I put my wallet if you're a guy? Or maybe, girls, you have the small purse, whatever. I hope I'm not sexist here. Whatever you carry, okay? So you got the wallet. I always put my wallet in my right pocket because I'm right-handed. And I want my wallet in my safe area. Now, it's interesting now because of phones. I bet a lot of you put your phone in your strong hand because you go to it so much. And maybe you put your wallet over here in your weak hand. But I put mine in my strong hand. And if I have jeans on, I'd probably put it in my back pocket over here. So the point is, everybody has a normal side. Like you, probably 9 times out of 10, you will put whatever has your money, your wallet or your purse, you will put that in your pocket. And if you're a girl and you have a purse, think about, does it go on your right shoulder? Does it go on your left shoulder? Just think about that. And probably if you're right-handed, it's on your right. If you're left-handed, it's on your left, whatever. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing for these guys. So you kind of assume they have human qualities, each one of these T's. And you ask yourself, okay, where do you normally carry your wallet? That's what we have to put on the cheat sheet. How do you know for these guys? They're not humans. It's just a word that says assets. It's just this T. Here's all you ask yourself. There's the big mama T that divides things. What side of the mama T is this T account on? So assets, I'm on the left side. So here's the big thick line. I'm on the left side of mama T. So I'm on our left side. So mine, what they call normal balance, is the left side of the equation, okay? So you just say, what side of the accounting equation are you on? Normal balance. Okay, so let's do liabilities. Liabilities, I hope you understand this, here's the middle part of the T. Look we've switched over to the other side of the T, and we're on the right side of mama. So for liabilities, the normal balance is the right side, okay? And then for owner's equity, hopefully that's not an issue. You just say, okay, is it on the right or the left? Well, it's on the same as liabilities. It's on the right side, so normal balance is on the right. And this is one of those things where you're like, okay, I get that, but I don't really see why I need to know that. You will in a little bit, okay? All right, so then we come down here to the grandkids, and we need to follow the same rules. So here's how this works. With the grandkids, they should all be right-handed, right? That's what you would think. And that if you're saying that, you're right. They should all be, because here we are. We're all over here on the right side. So all 6 of these should be right-handed. And we should only have one left-handed kid. But the thing about the grandkids, and when I say the grandkids, the 4 words that further describe owner's equity, is that 2 of them are good kids and 2 of them are bad kids. How do I determine that? If they bring money into the company, it's a good kid. Like, you want the kids that bring money into the company. What you don't want are kids that take money out of the company. Those are the bad kids. So if you look at this, investment and revenue both bring money in. Investment means the owner's putting money into the company. Revenue is the greatest one because we're selling something, so money comes in. Drawing or withdrawal, and just know that those 2 are now synonyms. means the owner comes in at midnight and takes money out of the register, which is fine, but it's like money's leaving. And then expenses are, shoot, we can't do anything about it, but it's still, it takes money out. Okay, why does this even matter? The good kids, these two over here, follow the rules they're supposed to because they're good kids. They're like goody two-shoes. They're the favorite kids in the family. And they're like, okay, mom, and owner's equity is their mom. They look up at owner's equity and they say, hey, mom, what's our rule? Because I'll follow whatever you say. And she says, well, we're on the right side of the mama T. My normal balance is on the right. And they're like, okay, well, our normal balance should be on the right. So normal balance for capital is on the right. And normal balance for revenue is on the right. And then the mom pats him on the head, gives him a little piece of candy. Everybody's happy. It's like, yo, you're such good kids. Great. Then you got these kids over here, withdrawal and expense. These are the kids that are missing curfew, whatever. They're skipping school, whatever image you want to put. Okay, so we got drawing and we got expense. So why does this matter? They look up at mom and they say, you know what, mom? I'm not going to follow your rules. I'm sorry. I'm not going to follow your rules. And so they're supposed to be right-handed because they're on the big side of the mama T. They're like, nope, I'm not. I'm bucking the system. So normal balance is on the left for drawing and normal balance is on the left for expense. Okay. So when you look at it, you're like, why do they not follow? They're supposed to be right-handed. They're not because they take money out of the company. Now that you see that, look at how I color-coded this. Assets is in green because it's left-handed. Withdrawal and expense are in green because they're left-handed. And then the 4 red ones are right-handed. So I purposefully did that so then when you do print this out, you can have like a color-coded thing. If you don't have a color printer, it's not that big a deal to see the color codes, but you probably see a different shade. There you go. Okay, and then the last thing on this cheat sheet is why does this matter? What does normal balance mean? When we do problems, they're going to ask you to put the dollar amount on one side of the T account or the other. And that's what we'll get to on Thursday, but we'll establish the rules first. And so you need a side that shows increases and you need a side that shows decreases. Okay? And the rule is this. If the normal balance side, for me, like assets is left-handed. So if I put my wallet in here, when I get money from someone, I'm going to put that in my wallet and it's going to go in this pocket, my left-handed pocket. So whatever the normal balance side is the increase side. So right below normal balance and assets, put increase side. Okay? What does that mean on the opposite side? Well, you could guess that is the decrease side. And this rule right here will become really valuable to us when we actually do a problem. Okay, so the increase side and the decrease side. So here's what you want to remember on the rest of the T's as we fill in the increase and decrease side. The word increase and normal are married to each other. They're connected. So whatever side is the normal balance, that is your increase side. And whatever is not that, then is obviously the decrease side. So it looks like that. So you just find the word normal, and underneath normal, put increase side. Over here, decrease side. Right? And then this will be for investment. I'm just going right under normal every time. Side. 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 Boom. I'll give you a second to get caught up. But that is our cheat sheet. That is what you need from your cheat sheet. Now, when we have a quiz next week sometime, the first thing I'll have you do is recreate this cheat sheet. What I've done in the past when we're in school is I pull out like 5 people into the commons from, we go around the corner from K-Hall, and I give them a half a sheet of paper, and I say, all right, it's a blank sheet of paper. I said, make your T account cheat sheet, go. And this is what they create. Now, you can abbreviate the heck out of this. You can put like D and C for debit and credit and N for normal and then pluses and minuses. You can really whip this out in about 1 minute. But this is how the cheat sheet should look. And this is something to either bookmark or, like I said, later today is literally go and print this thing out. And now you have all the rules. Now, you should be saying, okay, great. I get that, but I don't really know how this is applied. Totally understand. That's where you should be right now. We're going to go on to the next problem. Now what I want you to do is submit this. So make sure you click share on there. Submit that, and then we're going to go to our problems. So go ahead and do that. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to go in the chat room real quick. And if just a few of you would respond and just say, I'm going to show you what question I'm asking. I'm going to say this. Are we okay so far? Because it's hard to get like any feedback, and I'm not blaming you. It's just a Zoom call. But are we okay so far? Give me a couple of yeses or no, or am I glitchy? Video okay? How are we doing? Thank you, Nan. Okay, thank you, guys. Perfect. Thank you, everybody. Perfect. Okay. So let's keep moving here. And we're going to just do one problem together and then one problem on your own. We're going to call it good for today. Like I said, I kind of want to stop at a point where we feel good and we can move into Thursday with a fresh start. All right, so the next thing to do is to go on Canvas and make a copy of 2-1 work together. My problem on my computer is I got 4 kids downstairs. You guys are facing the same thing, I'm sure many of you. And then now I'm recording this and I got a Zoom going. My poor computer's like, what are you doing to me? So eventually I'll get caught up to you here. 2-1 work together, make a copy of it, and I'll show you what to do. With each step, I can talk a little bit less because I think you're understanding more and more. All right. Okay, didn't hit share on that. Hit share so I can see it when you turn it in. Just remember to always do that. So I can't remember the last time somebody didn't share it, so all is good. One more second here, hopefully. Okay, so the first problem for 2-1 work together, I'm going to try to limit how much you have to type. You're going to do 3 things. You're going to say, okay, what's the debit side and what's the credit side for each of these T's? So what I've done is instead of having them now in a cheat sheet perfectly set up for you, I've just extracted the T's so it's not so obvious as to what the rules are. So you have to do a little more interpretation, although this should be pretty easy. And so what we're going to do first is it says for each T account, label the debit and the credit side. So what we're going to do is I don't care where these T's are. It doesn't matter. The left side is always the debit side and the right side is always the credit side. So just go through each T and we're just going to go debit. I'm not going to put the word side. I'm just going to go debit and I'm going to go credit on everyone. So again, kind of tedious here, but pounding it in your head. Debit is left, credit is right. Debit is left, credit is right. And keep going through. It doesn't matter what kind of account it is. This is my favorite rule because it's like I don't need to think about anything. I know debit's left, credit's right. Try to make a Halloween theme. That's why you got Jack Skeleton on there. Of course, if I ever reuse these problems, I gotta redo the whole thing. That's all right. All right. So debit and credit. So when I'm looking at the assignment, it says label for each T account the debit and credit side. Okay, step 1 is done. Step 2 says label the normal balance side. So this is what's interesting. Now instead of saying assets, we have like actual accounts. So here's what I'm going to tab back and forth between my worksheet here and my cheat sheet. So go to cheat sheet and I say, okay, the one I'm doing is cash. All right, and I go on here and I say, what is cash out of these 7 choices? Where does cash belong? So each account belongs in one of these 7, I guess, cheat sheet accounts. And I hope that by now you understand that cash is an asset. It is the most important asset that we could have. And so now, once I know that, I don't need, I turn my brain off and I just say, okay, tell me then. Off the cheat sheet that I've already created and I've had to think through, just copy it down. So I know if cash is an asset, its normal is on the left side. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, normal is on the left. That's it. I'm not going to put balance this time. I'm just going to put normal. Then let's go ahead and finish off cash. I say increase and decrease side. That's what they want me to do. Well, I just say, okay, wherever the normal side is the increase side. And wherever the other side is the decrease side. And that's it. I am done with cash. So the only hard part I had there was determining what kind of account of those 7 choices on the cheat sheet was cash. Okay, so let's do another one that's a little more challenging. Accounts receivable. What is that? When I say what is that, which of these 7 does that fit into? Okay, this is hard. This is like the first time you've encountered this. Think back to your chapter 1 problem. Where did we write accounts receivable on that chart at the top? And if you remember, accounts receivable was over on the left, right next to cash. It's an asset. How do I remember that? Like, how do I know that? I think selfishly in accounting. What does that mean? Well, we have accounts receivable and we have accounts payable. One is an asset and one is a liability. In accounting, it's better to receive than to pay. I mean, that makes sense. It's better to receive money than to pay. So receiving is an asset. That's a good thing. Paying is a bad thing. It's a liability. So now that I know accounts receivable is an asset because it's a good thing that people owe me money, that's why it's an asset, then I follow the rule, and any asset follows the same rule. That normal's on the left and it increases on the left. So normal, it's no different than cash. Normal, and then increase and decrease. Like that. Okay? Then supplies and prepaid insurance, I'm going to cover these together because if you remember in chapter 1 when we were doing the charts at the top, you had cash, you had accounts receivable, and you had supplies and prepaid insurance. All of them were assets, and that's what they're supposed to be. These are 4 good things that you should have, and that's why I put them in green. I color-coded to kind of cheat here. But it's good to have supplies if you want a bunch of them. Apple's got like computer chips and all that. And it's good to have insurance. That's an asset too. So just follow the same rule. All assets are normal on the left. And then the word increase is always with the word normal. They're partners. So never change that. And this is why I like it. Like it all just kind of makes sense. There's no gray area here. You just follow your rules. There you go. So we've solved the top row now. And once you get the hang of this, you can go a lot faster than we're going, but I'm trying to explain it as we go. All right, let's go down to the second row here. Now we get to something called accounts payable. And so the million-dollar question is always, okay, out of these 7 choices I have in the cheat sheet, there's 7 T's in here in this family tree. What are accounts payable? Well, look, it literally says accounts payable, but you can also know it's a liability. So accounts payable means you owe people money. That's what a liability is. Inherently, that's in the definition, owing people money. So once you know that, anytime you see accounts payable, you just use your cheat sheet, kind of turn your brain off and just say, okay, tell me the rule then. Normal on the right, increase on the right. That's what we'll do. And I think I have 2 of these. Yep, I do. So normal is on the right. Therefore, increase is on the right because increase and normal are always on the same side. So these are basically, they're right-handed. You know, like most of us. Most of us are right-handed. I'm sure we have some lefties in here, but these ones are right-handed. So they carry their wallet or their purse on their right side. Okay.
What would we use these charts for?
Great question, Anthony. When we do the next problem, which is 2-2, you're going to see it all come together. Like, why do we even need to know this? You're going to see that on Thursday.
Okay.
So right now, it's almost like a leap of faith with me. You're like, okay, I trust this guy. I trust this is all going to mean something. It will on Thursday. Okay.
All right.
So we do our last 4 here. This is where I really need the cheat sheet. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm still at the point, I've been doing this for years, but I'm still at the point where I think I know pretty inherently what capital is, if it's right or left-handed, but I always double check my work. Now, so I go Jack Skeleton Capital. Now, notice we have 4 left. That's not a coincidence because we have 4 grandkids down here, and that's what we're going to cover here. So when you say capital, that's investment. Investment and capital mean the same thing. It's when the owner puts money in. It's usually that very first transaction that you guys wrote in your stories. And so I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's left or right-handed. That's why you make your cheat sheet first, and then you turn your brains off and say, okay, I'll just use my cheat sheet. So I just look on here. Boom, there's capital. Capital's right-handed. All right, so we're going to go increase. Oh, excuse me, I forgot. Normal, and then increase. Just decrease. Okay. So just once you created your cheat sheet, turn your brain off. Here's another example. Sales revenue. Now, it's really hard to go through all these rules in your head and say, okay, I think it's right-handed, I think it's left-handed. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But the reason why we made the cheat sheet first is so now you just go use it. And you just find it. You just say revenue and sales. And the reason why, it's not like you're not thinking. You had to think to make this cheat sheet. Well, once you make it, then just use it. So normal's right and increase is right. I remember in college taking I think it was a midterm. I don't think it was a final, but the very first thing we did is always just sit down and make the cheat sheet. And it wasn't like it was a little different format, but this was all it boiled down to. If you understood this, you were good. Okay? And then following the same thing. Rent expense, I don't know. I have no idea if it's right or left-handed, but you've made your cheat sheet. You've done the work already. I just go find the word expense because that's what it said, rent expense. So any kind of expense is an expense. Normal's on the left and increase on the left. There we go. Normal on the left. Increase. Decrease. And then the last one is Jack Skeleton drawing, again, for the 4th time. I don't know. I don't know what that is. What does that mean, Jack Skeleton drawing? Withdrawal and drawing are the same thing. It means that he comes in anytime during the day or at night and takes money out and then goes and buys pizza, throws his wife a birthday party, buys a TV, buys a car, whatever. Doesn't matter. But that's what drawing means, withdrawing from like the cash register. Well, for our purposes right now, we just care it's left-handed. Normal left and increase left. But when you see the word drawing, you're like, what the heck does that mean, drawing? Well, it means withdrawal, and that's what you want to go look for on your cheat sheet. And decrease. Okay? And that's it. You've solved all the things we need to solve on this problem. And I think Anthony asked the $1 million question, which I said too at the beginning, is like, okay, right now it's a little bit of blind faith that this is all going to apply to something on Thursday. So you were just getting the basics now. All right, make sure you share that and submit it. And we'll move on to our last thing here. So after you get done, and I bet some of you have already moved on to this, is go to 2-2 on your own. And then that'll be step 3 today in our final thing. And we can move a lot faster here on this one now that you know all the rules you know. And make your copy, if you haven't yet, of 2-1 on your own. And then I'll just give you a couple twists on this one. but nothing bad. Okay, so I finally have it on my screen here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain it and then turn it over to you to kind of let you fly on your own a little bit so you don't have to continually listen to me. Here's what I did. I removed a couple of hints for you. Number one is you don't see any color coding here. That's done on purpose because I want you to kind of fly the nest here and be able to interpret on your own. Also, I mixed up the order. So there'll be some, totally random. Now I started with cash, which is generally the first one we always do, but then it jumps around. So you're not going to know what kind of account. It goes in no specific order. It could be some random T from the cheat sheet, like down in the bottom right, and then it could jump over here to the left. What I'm trying to get you to do is interpret what kind of account it is, so then you can just do your rules. First thing you should do is go debit and credit, debit left, credit right. If you want to do this, if you haven't started typing yet, you can just go DC, 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 or type debit, credit, whatever makes you feel good about completing it. And then for the normal balance, I want you to go look at your cheat sheet and then say, okay, what kind of account is it? And then use the cheat sheet and put it in there, and then the increase goes with it. So here's what we'll do. I want you to stay on the Zoom until you finish, but you don't need to check out with me. Like, the other problems you had to check your totals. You don't need to do that. I just want you to stay on the Zooms right now, just in case a question pops up. Once you finish this and you put debit, I'll show you how to do one just in case. So just do what we've been doing. Debit. This is how cash would look. Go debit, credit, normal, increase, decrease. Okay, once you finish them and submit it, you're good. Take off, and we'll see you on Thursday. But I do want you to stay on the Zoom in case something comes up, because this happened a lot in first period. A lot of people said, oh, shoot, I got stuck on one. I wish I could ask questions. All right, so submit that when you're done, and then you're free to go. But I'm here for all kinds of questions. All right, and I'll give you the spiel. Have a great day, just because you won't hear this at the end. Have a great day. Go get those tacos tomorrow, and then on Thursday, we'll continue on with this stuff. I appreciate all the listening you guys did today. Good job. You should feel good about yourselves after understanding these T accounts.